Anke is the host. Sorry. Anke is the host. Okay. The host's name. I'm done, bro. I can't do it. I can't do it. And we're back. We are back.
We're back, baby.
Back and ready for episode 4.
You've been a little MIA, but today it's a cozy Sunday
episode edition. Yeah.
Edition. Mm-hmm. And we have a lot to catch up on.
We do.
This one's going to be more personal, like what we've been up to.
It's been a lot of new updates for everybody to know. What else? New mic. I got one new mic. That's fun. Nobody cares.
When was the last time that we were here? Maybe like the last
August.
What?
It's when we did the episode with Becca.
I don't know when that was. Oh, their engagement session, which was in September of last year.
Yeah.
So it's been a while, people.
I'm so sorry, everybody. It's been busy, man. Like, we finished that episode, and then it was like peak wedding season for us. And since then, we've had a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. Films come out. If you've been following us,
go watch them.
They're pretty cool. I would say they're pretty fun.
And you know what? It wouldn't be Cocktail Hour with Michael and Leia.
With Michael?
Michael.
Did you forget my name?
No.
Michael. Because there's some big news. Big news, people.
Big news, big news.
You're looking at me like you don't know the big news.
Read all about it.
What's
the big news is that we're engaged.
Yay. We got engaged.
Yes, we got engaged back in January.
Yep. 21st, 2023.
Mm-hmm. And our wedding's in 2030.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep. 2030, got a cool 7 to 10 years to save up, plan, see what the trends are.
We're just kidding. It's not in 2030.
Oh, I thought it was.
No. But we're engaged now. Woohoo!
We got engaged.
Now we're on the other side of it all. So it's interesting being on like the bride side, not like the wedding vendor side.
Sure.
But it's cool.
So there may be segments now where we kind of talk about planning and things that we're learning along the way, just like all of you. Mm-hmm. Maybe you're just starting or you're kind of in it already. We're right here with you along the way. So, send us a DM or something. You have any questions? But yeah, we're trying to figure it out just as much as everybody else. So we wanted to like kind of transform our podcast, not only to what we normally do, but kind of make it feel like you're with us along this journey, because it's going to be a journey. And, we started taking our first couple steps here. We'll get to eventually, but
we're learning alongside all of you guys. So
yeah,
it's been cool.
And it makes me like value, why people have invested in us. Like I really feel that deeply now, because I'm looking like, who are we going to invest for us? So it's like the other way around now. It's very interesting. It's
a big decision.
Yeah,
it's not to be taken lightly.
Exactly. But we'll get into that later. But we can talk about the actual proposal, kind of what went down.
Yeah, we'd love to share kind of, what happened. What was going through your mind, what was going through my mind, and everything like that. So
that sounds great.
Well, for those who don't know, we've been together for about 6 years, a little over 6 years. So
6 years.
Yes.
Wow.
And now it's weird saying fiance.
I love it.
I like it too.
I love it.
And I'm trying to say it as often as I can, because we're only in this like time period once.
Right.
So once we're husband and wife, then that's the new title. But
yeah,
in this stage, I like fiance.
it's a big word, but I love it. Like, it's fun to say. I feel like we've been saying it like every other day. We're like, hey, fiance.
Good morning, fiance.
Good morning. Good evening, fiance. It's very formal. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Until my wife, your dad was telling me, oh yeah, my wife. And it was like, dang, I'm going to be saying that one day pretty soon. That was pretty cool. I was kind of like, oh, I can't wait to say that. My wife, that's crazy.
That's cute.
But, okay. So what went down? So actually, let me take you guys back. So it happened in January. We last left off with everybody that we, entered the wedding season, September, October, November, December. It got crazy. November, December holidays.
Yes.
All that stuff. We were traveling to Modesto. We were traveling back down to Chino, where you're from, and where I'm from, and a lot of family time. We didn't really have time. We only had really time to edit during the week, and then I felt like every other weekend we were just like going places. And it was great. It was fun. But I was also balancing my master's degree on top of that.
Shout out to him. Michael just graduated with a master's degree in digital marketing.
I did.
Which is a amazing accomplishment.
Thank you.
And I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
And
all while planning the engagement.
During
my thesis.
Editing the wedding films, family time, school time, work time. He was juggling it all. And
thanks. Wow. This is rare.
We have yet to celebrate you, but we need to celebrate you still. I haven't forgotten.
Thank you.
But yeah, he got his master's. He's a freaking master's graduate. So cheers to that.
Cheers.
He was doing all that. His thesis was due when? January
13th. I was done with my master's program. Everything had to be turned in January 13th or 14th.
And how long was your paper at the end of it, your thesis?
78 pages. 78 pages of, basically, if anybody cares, it was the efficacy and the, ability to create a startup in the United States with a global expansion into Europe. And so I chose the Netherlands, and I based it off like a floral company. So I learned a lot about the floral industry, the floriculture industry. So shout out to all the florists. That's hard work. And those flowers are not cheap. So, it's very, very, very interesting. And I felt like it was really fun to create, but it definitely took a lot of research and stuff. So yeah, 78 pages, but I got an A, presented it. It got great, acceptance from the professors that reviewed it and the peers that reviewed it. So yeah.
Let's go, baby.
Let's go. Yeah. So we finish. I finished my master's. And while I'm finishing it, my family invited us to come out to Panama for a wedding. So my cousins got married. My one of my really close cousins, she got married, and we found ourselves having to, go to Panama in the first week of January, and then my thesis was due the second week of January. So,
and we got engaged the third week of January.
Yeah, exactly. In the third week of January, we got engaged.
And I have birthdays for my brothers in January. So January is a packed month.
Yeah.
Especially this past one. It was a packed month.
Yeah. So it was cool. So we went to Panama. And I wasn't going to propose in Panama. I thought that would have been cool because it's a beautiful country and it's like my roots, my family's from there. Like, she was meeting all my aunts and uncles for the first time, and everyone was like so welcoming and really cool. And, my dad lives out there now. So, it was really fun to be with everybody. And so it crossed my mind. Should I, propose out there. But then I was like, you know what? I know Leah. I don't think she's going to want me to, because it's not my family that she wants there. Like, she wants my family there, of course, like my immediate family, but I feel like I would not be respectful to include her family in on it, you know? So unfortunately, Panama proposal, BP, couldn't go down.
Out of the
question. But it crossed my mind.
Because I've always expressed to you that whenever this moment would come, I want my family to be there or be close by or something. I want them to be involved some way, somehow. So, yeah. So
I took that into consideration and decided, okay, I'm going to do it after the Panama trip. There's going to be a lot of shit going on, but it's now or never. I was kind of like fed up that all these things were kind of like coming up, and I just kept like pushing the date further and further, and I really wanted to make it like really special. So I was just like, you know what, I got to just do it, and there's no more waiting. She's waited long enough. You know, she's dealt with my ass for too long. I need to put a ring on it. And so, you know, we went ring shopping in October, so I kind of had an idea, and I had the ring with me for a while. And I would just, on the days where she would be shooting or I'd be at home editing, I would just have the ring out and just kind of look at it and go, all right, what's the plan? You know, so I would kind of sit down, and thank you to Celeste for helping kind of organize my thoughts. And I had run some ideas by her. Like, I had initially thought maybe we do like a Malibu picnic movie night at like, but I could not find like an aesthetic looking house in Malibu that was on Airbnb or VRBO. There were all these like kind of like 2003 Italian, you know, like not really the vibe, and they didn't have backyards. Like, you'd think somebody who lives in Malibu would have a nice backyard that could oversee something. There was none. They were like tiny, and they were decks. They weren't. Okay. And I didn't want to propose to you on a deck. I didn't want to have a movie night with you on a deck. Okay. And so then I'm like, okay, well, maybe not Malibu. Maybe Palm Springs. Maybe a backyard in Palm Springs. Okay. But why? Why Palm Springs? I don't know. Then I started getting like in a state of mind where it was like, this isn't being like thinking about like us. I'm just thinking about like what the look is going to look like. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what the look is going to look like or what the feel or the vibe of it. It's what we are, you know? So I was like trying to stay to those roots. And, you know, I was trying to like find ways, and I ran some other ideas by her. And then I was like, well, Leah loves the beach. We had one of our first dates was at the beach. And I just thought it'd be good to do it at the beach. Solana Beach is like our beach. And so I was like, okay, this could work. So then I started thinking of ideas and looking up what to do. And, you know, we visited that beach a lot. So it's very cool. It's got like, it's in Solana Beach, California. It's called Fletcher Cove. And
it's like North County, San Diego.
Yep. And there's just a long stretch of beach, cliffside houses, little coves to like, you know, hang out in.
And I feel like the waves aren't very like crashing. It's just kind of like flat and kind of like calming in a way.
Yeah. We would definitely go in college and just kind of like chill out and get a burrito.
Yes.
Sit out there. So I thought, you know what, why don't we bring those roots back?
Okay.
So I was like, okay, well, I want to do like a picnic, and I think it's accessible for my family to come down to San Diego. I think it's accessible for your family to come down to San Diego, and for, you know, some of our friends to come out too. So I was like, okay, I'll do the proposal. Her family should be around. My family should be around. And a few of our friends should be around, just to, you know, I didn't know if you wanted to do like a big engagement party or anything. So I just kept it kind of low key, kind of small, just to kind of keep it within the family. And so anyways, so I came up with the idea, a little beach picnic, propose, And then what? Because then I started talking to her parents, and I was like, I wanted to ask for her hand in marriage. I took them out to dinner, and they're like, oh, okay, well, what are you thinking of doing? And so I kind of let them know where my head was at, and they're like, well, we want to be able to see it. We want to be there. So I'm like, okay, let me take that into consideration. So they wanted to see it happen. So there's a little overlook spot at Fletcher Cove. But unfortunately, when I went to go visit there one day, the overlook was not in the area where I wanted to propose. So I was like, shoot, you won't be able to see us. And if you're on the beach, she's going to see you. So unfortunately, I had to tell them to wait at the Airbnb or the bed and breakfast that I booked.
Oh.
Yeah.
I did not know this.
So your mom was like, oh, man. I'm like, I'm sorry, but there's just no way.
You couldn't have done it on the other side?
So I checked the view on both sides. Right? Okay. So the viewpoint that I'm talking about can view like everything up until like the, where like the walls of the cliff are, like basically where I wanted to do it just past the walls where it kind of caves in where we took our first picture. That's where I wanted to do it. But
a little bit further down
the beach, right? But the viewpoint, you can't see past it because the cliff comes out and it covers it. So I'm like, okay, let me look on the other side. Bro, on the other side, they got to hike up a hill from the houses, and then you can barely see anything. So it was a lose-lose.
Logistics.
It was a lose-lose for...
You did some scouting beforehand, though.
I did. And it was good. But I just decided that it would be a private moment for us, and I would hope that they respect that. And they did, which I was like, woo! I was nervous. I was hella nervous. But we did it, and it was great. Mm-hmm. And so then I booked San Diego picnics the next day after I found the spot. I booked San Diego picnics. Shout out to San Diego picnics.
How'd you find them?
I just looked on Instagram.
What'd you put?
Beach picnic. Okay. What? What's wrong with that?
Beach picnic, San Diego.
Beach picnic, San Diego.
And San Diego picnics
came up.
Okay.
It was perfect. So, yeah, it was great. Mm-hmm. And so then, what happened? Sorry, I feel like I need to just relax. I feel like I'm like telling a story all tensed up and shit. Like,
we're chilling.
Yeah, it's a cozy Sunday. My bad.
Chill, bro.
Chill. My bad. Okay.
Well, let me share a little bit about my perspective too.
Pause. Yes, I've talked a lot.
I feel like I was like, oh, maybe you're gonna do it on my birthday, because my birthday's in December, and I knew that we went ring shopping in October, and so I was like, maybe my birthday, maybe the holidays.
But would you have wanted that though, on your birthday?
Or like,
that would have been a good birthday. Damn, I'm stupid as fuck. Why didn't I do that? I thought you wouldn't like that, because there's two colliding things.
I understand, and I have expressed that as well, that I don't want like I want the occasion to be a separate occasion. Okay. Well, just saying. And I was like, maybe New Year's, but maybe not. And then I was like, when is he going to do it? Because we were busy. And so I was like, yeah, anyways. But those were just some thoughts that were going through my mind. Maybe we can share like what happened, what you were doing on that day, what I was doing on that day. And then.
Sure. Well, what I ended up doing was booking this bed and breakfast for a night. It's called the 12 Senses Retreat. It's in Encinitas. I'll link them down below if you guys want to check them out. Anke is really nice. That's her name. Anke
is the host.
Anke is the host, and she's really nice. Anke is the host, and she's really nice. What? I'm just trying to like fix myself in edits.
Okay.
Anke is the host. Sorry. Anke is the host. Okay. The host's name. I'm done, bro. I can't do it. I can't do it. The host's name was Anke. She was super cool. She helped kind of let me come through, see the spot beforehand.
That's nice.
Yeah. Kind of like let me kind of pre-design like what I wanted there. She was really nice. And the space was like dope. It was so dope.
Yeah.
Patio it was like a modern patio, but it was like super minimalist with really nice furniture and like a modern fireplace. And it was perfect for like 20 people. That was like, what I needed to do. No more, no less. Mm-hmm. So then, so I added that to the list of things. I'm like, all right, let's book that. So then everything kind of comes together. I get some drinks, signs, some party favors, flowers, all that stuff. So on the day of, I start planning.
So first of all, on the day before, he's like, okay, I'm going to go and spend the night with like my buddy Jake who lives in San Diego. I'm like, okay.
Which is not uncommon. I've done that before.
It's not uncommon. It's like, okay. But then I felt like he kind of just like left abruptly. You're like, I'm leaving, bye.
There's a lot I was thinking about.
I know. I was like, okay. And so I'm just like chilling at home. The next day, okay, I'll share what I was doing and then you share what you were doing. So I had a little hunch of what was going on because when we were in Panama, I feel like unfortunately your dad kind of said something that gave away the secret.
He said, we're driving in Panama. Oh, hey, Leah, by the way, I'm sorry I can't make it to your party.
To your party.
And I'm like, what party, Dad? What party are you talking about? I don't know about a party.
So anyways, and I just felt like, oh no, I just was getting a vibe. And when the girls want to go do their nails, then that's like a sign
Dead giveaway.
Anyways, so for me, I was doing a girls' day with my girls. So it started off with some like breakfast and mimosas at the house. And then number 2 was getting our nails done. And so they were like, oh, you should get your nails done like really nice. And so I was like, I'm just going to do brown like I always do. And then they're like, you can, or you can try something else. And so I was like, okay. So then I was getting my nails done and I was just getting nervous at that point. I didn't really know what to expect because I was like 90% sure that it was happening that day. But then I'm like, but what if I'm just making it all up in my head and nothing's even happening. And then we went down to like Cardiff by the Sea area for some lunch at this place where I've been wanting to go to lunch, and Michael orchestrated that as well and told them where I wanted to go. So that was very nice. We had some drinks, just like some small plates to share. And then my 2 friends were like, oh, let's go to the beach. It's such a beautiful day out. It was a nice day.
Yeah, it was the only sunny day in like 3 months.
Yeah, it was like really rainy. And then that weekend, like the sun came out. So
that was cool.
Yeah.
It was expected to rain, and there was like, because there was all these like high tide in San Diego, like all of these high tide warnings for like the last like month had been just going off. And so I was like, shit, man, I'm not even gonna be able to, I'm gonna be proposing in the water. It's like, shit, to figure that out. I was kind of just praying that everything was gonna go okay. So continue, sorry.
But yeah, so they're like, oh, let's go to the beach. I'm like, okay. And then they're like, oh, this specific beach. And I was like, okay. I was just going along, with it. I was definitely nervous and like excited. Not like nervous, oh my God, but just like nervous, excited. And then I'm walking down to like the sand, and then I see him, and then all of my nerves like went away. They like subsided, and then I was calm, and then I felt like I just had like tunnel vision. I'm just like walking up to you, and then I gave you a big hug. You had a nice outfit on. So then he was waiting at the beach for me. So that was my day. So then what did your day look like when you proposed?
So basically I left kind of abruptly because I don't know why I left kind of abruptly. I just was like excited, but I couldn't. I remember hugging you and like you were like not letting me go, and then you like look at me and I started laughing and you're like, what the are you doing? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. I was just like laughing and I couldn't stop laughing. Even when I was driving, I was just like giggling and I was just like, holy shit, this is fucking happening. I'm so excited. And so what happened? So yeah, I went to my friend Jake's house, and we went to San Diego State together. So he housed me for the night, and he basically like helped me do like the last like a lot of the last little things I needed, like ironing my shirt, you know, getting drinks at Costco. Even though did I have a Costco membership at that point? We didn't have it yet. I don't know.
We got it for Christmas. Oh wait, but we didn't activate
it. Yeah, so
beyond the point.
I didn't have he took me to Costco down in San Diego, picked up some beers and some snacks for everybody at the place. Yeah, we just hung out.
So how are you feeling? Were you like nervous, excited? Were you stressed?
I was trying not to come off like stressed.
Well, there was a lot you had to like coordinate.
Correct.
Yeah.
There was a lot, and I was just like trying not to like Jake would be like, yo, are you good? I'd just be sitting there like, make sure you get this, make sure, and I'm thinking like running scenarios in my head. And he's like, yo, are you good? I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just thinking about something. So I feel like I came off kind of crazy, but I was just like making sure I had everything in a row because I wanted to make sure, because my family was traveling down. I wanted to make sure your family was comfortable. All our friends were comfortable. So I'm like, okay, just got to make sure everything's good. And so that night I did not sleep. I did not sleep at all. I was up at like 3 a.m. and I knew that I wanted to write you a letter. But I knew what I was going to say in my head, but I just couldn't. I just needed like silence, like nothing, no distractions, no bothering me, nothing. And so, so basically I got up at like 3-4 a.m. and I just started writing.
Did you already have in your mind like things that you were thinking about, like that you wanted to say, or did you like come up with it that morning?
No, I had some ideas of things I wanted to say. I had taken like some notes on my phone, and I didn't want to read off of my phone like to you, so I wanted to write it down. And so
did that help kind of like center you?
Yeah,
and like
totally
settle you down.
Yeah, totally. Once I started writing it, like I just started like calming down.
That's good.
So, but then like once I was done writing it, I was back to being like, fuck, I gotta get everything figured out. So it was like a brief calming moment, but I needed it. But I wrote everything, picked up all the stuff with Jake. And then like the catering company was calling me, the florist was calling me, our photographers and videographers were texting me, hey, we're on our way down. I'm like, okay, it's fucking happening. Oh, fuck. My mom's like, oh, we're here. I'm like, everyone's like texting me. I'm like, holy crap. Got to stay cool, calm, collected. It's all good. And so then I started making my way up from like, La Mesa, San Diego area to North County. It wasn't too bad. So then I get to the house, start setting up with James and our friend Quinn. Shout out to James and Quinn. They came out and they were helping me set up. So we're setting up drinks, and I told them when the food was coming, and then like it was like a blink of an eye. It was already like 3:00. I'm like, shit. it's at 3:30. I'm like, okay, I got to get down there. So I put my clothes on and run over to the beach. Beck and Marcelo met me at the house, and then they came back with me to the beach. And then, yeah, I get there. Then the picnic lady was calling me. She was like, hey, where are you? I'm like, I'm coming right now. Don't worry, I'm coming. And then she's like, oh, by the way, I couldn't put it in the spot that you wanted. I'm like, all right, no problem. I'm not going to freak out. It's all good. And then I get there, and it was still beautiful. It was against like the cliffs, but it had like green in the back. It looked beautiful. Honestly, It was super solid. I was really happy with it. So it was perfect. And so then Beck and Marcelo just met up with me at the beach. We took a couple pictures, and then you came down. The girls were walking you down. It was really cute because you're like kind of confused, and then you saw me, and then it was just like instant smile. I'm like, and I agree. I was also like at peace. Once like I was kind of nervous. I was just nervous for like everything else happening, but I wasn't nervous about like the decision or anything. I was just like, I know this is what I want to do. Then I saw you, and I'm like, God. I don't know. I was just like happy. Yeah. And I was just like, oh, this is so awesome. And I was just like, I agree. I was super calm once the moment came. I was like, okay. All my nervousness was like, I got this. I got this.
When you were waiting there at the beach, did anybody come up to you and were like, are you proposing?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
How many people?
Like 5 people.
Really?
When everyone else was just like staring at me.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, it's a proposal. Okay. Now go away. And there was this couple that was next to the tent that like there's obviously something gonna happen, and they were just sitting there. And like Becca and I went up to them. We're like, hey, you're gonna be in our shot. Can we move you guys like 10 feet over? And they're like, oh yeah, totally. I was like, okay, thanks. But yeah, a couple of people came up to me, but it wasn't like anything crazy. It was fun.
So then, we see each other, and I thought it was funny because we see each other, we hug, and there's like the tent next to us. And so he's like, hey. And then he's like, come on, come look under the tent. I'm like, okay, let's go into the tent. And then there's like the charcuterie board spread. And then he reads me a letter. And then he's like, okay, now I have to ask you something, but we have to go outside the tent. And I'm like, okay.
So it was very step by step.
Let me get up and get outside the tent again. And then he proposed. And I said yes.
What did you say? You said,
we went back in the tent.
She said, maybe?
I said, I guess. And then we had some like alone time before going to the Airbnb, the bed and breakfast that you booked. And I had no clue that everybody was waiting there. So that was a cool surprise.
Oh, yeah, totally. So the second part that's part one. The second part was that I told her that we had some dinner reservations at a local spot just nearby. And she was like, well, why the hell are we in a neighborhood? And I'm like, just relax. It's a surprise, She's like, okay. And then what was really funny was as I'm pulling up.
So basically the house is like the driveway and then the garage, and everybody was in the garage. And so I just wanted to preface.
Yeah. So there's a driveway and a garage, and then like a little deck up top. And so everyone's in the garage. I told James, keep everybody in the garage, and then once I pull up and I text you, open the garage,
the garage door
to open.
Yes, surprise.
Yes. So then I'm pulling up, I have my location on, I'm sharing it with everybody, and I turn the corner and our friend Quinn, who was helping set up, he was outside of the garage like looking for my car or where I was at. And then like he immediately like, it was like the meme from like that Simpsons meme of Homer Simpson. He's like hiding into the bushes. So he like saw me, and he's like moving super slow back. And then like, and then I pull in, and then we see the garage door open just ever so slightly, and we see like some legs.
We see like all the feet of the people, and then it was like, and then it was like going back down. And so we're like, okay. And then we're walking in the driveway, and then the garage door is slowly coming up. and then
surprise, our families and
yeah, it was cute.
Some friends were there. It was fun.
It was really cute, really thoughtful. The whole evening was thoughtful, not only in the like location for the beach, but also the Airbnb and some little like things that you did. For example, some of our favorite drinks, like favorite seltzers and favorite beer. And the food that you catered was Phil's Barbecue, so I used to work there, so that was like thoughtful. The flowers were tulips, and that's my favorite flower, so that was really thoughtful. So a lot of the night was just very thoughtful, which I appreciated. There's like, yeah, every detail was a symbol of our relationship in some way.
Yeah, it was. Thanks for catching that.
Did I miss anything?
I don't think so. Tulips, San Diego State beer. The San Diego State beer from episode 1, if you remember. If you think back.
No, episode 2.
If you think back, episode 2, that's the beer that I brought everybody, which is pretty good. And then, yeah, Phil's Barbecue, super good. That was fun. We had ribs for like 3 days after. It was solid.
Yeah, that was fun.
She loves ribs.
I do.
So yeah, then we hung out with everybody. Our families got to like talk a little bit more. It felt like they've met each other,
but not like for a long period of time. You know what I mean? Like,
no more than like 2 hours.
Yeah.
You know, like they spent the entire afternoon, the entire evening together. They're all laughing. They're all getting along. Like, it was really cool.
It was really nice to see.
Yeah. And like her brothers were there too. And it was funny. It was weird. It was like they were part of our friend group. They were like her little brothers talking to like all of our friends and like making great conversation. And her middle brother is also like really, really awesome. And he was, you know, talking with all of our homies. And then we spent the night, had breakfast the next morning. And then the next day was her littlest brother's birthday. So we celebrated him.
Yeah, a lot of celebrations.
So
yeah,
and that is the story on how Michael and Leia took their first step to becoming husband and wife. Whoa, that's crazy. I love it though. What else?
I think that's pretty much it. And now we're just in like the beginning stages of wedding planning. So yeah, that'll be fun.
I think it's going to be awesome. Definitely. We'll update everybody on how that goes and what we've seen. We have a couple. So I think the plan moving forward is we're going to post a couple of vlogs of us checking out some venues that kind of stood out to us that we've either shot at or not shot at. And I think in future episodes, we can kind of talk about some of the venues that we considered, even just by looking at them. And yeah, so it'll be good. Good way. Good start. Choose a venue first.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
All right. Well, thanks for listening.
Thank you for listening, for watching, for supporting us. And we're excited to take everyone along on this journey.
Yeah, it was super fun.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
See you next time.
Peace.